Love ended the moment your lies began.
3:30 in the morning, and I'm elbow deep in our kitchen sink, wrestling with a garbage disposal that sounds like a dying chainsaw. The irony isn't lost on me. Fixing broken things has become my specialty, whether it's busted pipes or a busted marriage. My name is Jack Morrison, and I've been a mechanical engineer for 22 years, married for 24, and apparently an idiot for most of them. The house creaks above me as footsteps move across the bedroom floor. Laura's up again, probably checking her phone for the 100th time tonight. Our daughter Beth's home from college for spring break, which means the house has been filled with whispered conversations and secretive giggles that stop the moment I enter a room. I'm tightening the last bolt when I hear them in the kitchen above me. The basement ceiling is thin, and their voices carry down like they're speaking directly into my ear. "Mom, seriously, you need to stop being so naive about Dad," Beth says, her voice dripping with that particular brand of 22-year-old wisdom that makes my teeth ache. "What do you mean?" Laura's voice is cautious, but there's something else there. Interest. "Come on, Mom. 24 years of marriage? You really think he's been faithful this whole time? Men like Dad, they get comfortable. They think they can have their cake and eat it too. I bet he's had at least one affair." I freeze, wrench still in my hand. The accusation hits like a punch to the gut, mainly because it's completely wrong. I've never so much as looked at another woman with anything more than passing appreciation. "Beth, I don't think—" "Mom, listen to me. You're 46 years old, you're successful, you're still attractive. When's the last time you did something just for you? When's the last time you felt desired, really desired?" There's a long pause. I can practically hear Laura thinking. "You need to explore yourself," Beth continues, her voice taking on an almost predatory excitement. "You need to experience what you've been missing. At least try something different, something exciting. It'll make you feel powerful again. Make you remember who you are, outside of this boring suburban life." What are you suggesting?" "A girls' trip, just you and me, somewhere fun, somewhere you can let loose. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right?" Another pause, longer this time. "I don't know, honey. It feels wrong." "What feels wrong is wasting your life being faithful to a man who probably hasn't returned the favor. Mom, you need to live a little. Try something different. Maybe someone different." A cold chill ran through me. My own daughter is essentially pimping out her mother, encouraging her to cheat on me based on nothing but cynical assumptions about men and marriage. Mom, trust me on this. One weekend, one chance to feel alive again. You deserve it." I hear chairs scraping against the kitchen floor, footsteps moving toward the stairs. I wait until their bedroom doors close before I emerge from the basement, my hands shaking with rage and something that feels dangerously close to heartbreak. Great. Now my daughter's peddling adultery as self-care. I pour myself 3 fingers of bourbon and sit at the kitchen table staring at the ceiling. 24 years of marriage, and this is what it's come to. My wife and daughter plotting my betrayal like it's some kind of feminist awakening. The next morning, Laura avoids eye contact over coffee. Beth bounces around the kitchen with manic energy, chattering about spring break plans and how Mom needs to live her best life. I say nothing, just watch them both with new eyes. By Thursday, they've booked their trip. Las Vegas, they tell me. A long weekend of shows and shopping and girl time. Laura seems nervous but excited, like she's already made her decision. "You don't mind, do you, Jack?" she asks, but she's not really asking. She's telling me. "Do whatever you want," I say, and I mean it, because now I'm curious to see just how far they're willing to go. They leave Friday morning in Laura's BMW, Beth taking selfies before they're even out of the driveway. I watch them go, then call my old friend Vince Kowalski. Vince is a retired cop who runs a small private investigation business out of a strip mall office that smells like coffee and disappointment. We've known each other since high school, and he's one of the few people I trust completely. "Jack, what's up? You sound like heck." "I need a favor, Vince. Laura and Beth are in Vegas, and I have a feeling they're not there for the shows. You want me to keep an eye on them? Just let me know if I need to know anything." Consider it done. The weekend passes slowly. I fix things around the house, catch up on work, and try not to think about what my wife and daughter might be doing in Sin City. But Saturday night, my phone rings. "Dad?" Beth's voice is shaky, scared. "Dad, you need to come get us. What happened? Where's your mother?" She's She's in the hospital. Something happened at the party, and she collapsed, and there was a medical emergency, and the doctors won't tell me anything because I'm not her medical power of attorney. My stomach drops. What party? What happened to her? Just come, Dad. Please, we're at Desert Springs Medical Center. I drive through the night, pushing my old Ford pickup harder than it's been pushed in years. The desert highway stretches endlessly ahead of me, and I have too much time to think, too much time to imagine what kind of party ends with my wife in a hospital bed. I arrive at Desert Springs at 6 in the morning, exhausted and terrified. Beth meets me in the waiting room, and she looks like heck. Her makeup is smeared, her clothes are wrinkled, and there's something in her eyes I've never seen before. Shame, maybe, or fear. Where is she? I ask. Room 314. Dad, Save it. I find Laura unconscious in a hospital bed, hooked up to an IV and a heart monitor. She looks pale and fragile. Nothing like the confident attorney who left our house 3 days ago. A nurse comes in, checks her chart, and gives me a look that's part sympathy, part judgment. Are you the husband? Yes. What happened? She was brought in early this morning. Severe dehydration, alcohol poisoning, and... She pauses, consulting the chart. There were some other complications. The doctor will want to speak with you. Dr. Martinez is a tired-looking man in his 50s who's clearly seen too much of humanity's worst decisions. He leads me to a small consultation room and closes the door. Mr. Morrison, your wife is going to be fine, but there are some things you need to know. She was brought in with symptoms consistent with pills and alcohol misuse, and we had to run some tests. What kind of tests? Blood work, STD screening, pregnancy tests, standard procedure for cases like this. Cases like this. I want to ask what that means, but I'm afraid I already know. The pregnancy test was positive, Dr. Martinez continues, and I'm afraid the STD screening came back positive for chlamydia. The world tilts sideways. I grip the arms of my chair and try to breathe. How far along? Based on the blood work, about 6 weeks. 6 weeks ago, Laura and I hadn't been intimate in months. She'd been working late, claiming she was too tired, too stressed. Now I know what she was really doing. There's something else, the doctor says gently. Your daughter mentioned they were at a party where multiple partners were involved. Given the circumstances, we recommend you get tested as well. I nod numbly and sign the paperwork. When I get back to Laura's room, she's awake, staring at the ceiling with tears streaming down her face. Jack, she whispers, I can explain. Can you? She tries to sit up, winces. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. How is it supposed to happen? Beth appears in the doorway, looking like she wants to disappear into the floor. Dad, Get out, I say quietly. Both of you figure out how you're getting home because I'm done. I walk out of that hospital and drive straight back to our Rust Belt city, leaving them to deal with the consequences of their empowerment weekend. The drive gives me 18 hours to think, and by the time I pull into our driveway, I've made a decision. If they want to play games, I'll play games. But I play to win. Laura and Beth return home Tuesday evening in a taxi, looking like refugees from their own bad choices. Laura moves gingerly, still weak from whatever cocktail of substances nearly ended her. Beth hovers around her like a guilty conscience, shooting me nervous glances when she thinks I'm not looking. I'm in my home office, ostensibly working on CAD drawings for a new client, but really just watching them through the doorway. They whisper in the kitchen, their voices too low for me to make out words, but their body language speaks volumes. Defensive postures, furtive glances in my direction, the occasional pointed finger. They're strategizing. Around 9 o'clock, Laura appears in my office doorway. She's wearing her old college sweatshirt and pajama pants, trying to look vulnerable and approachable. It might have worked a week ago. Jack, we need to talk. Do we? She steps into the room, closes the door behind her. I know you're angry. Angry? I lean back in my chair, study her face. Laura, angry doesn't begin to cover what I am. I made a mistake. A huge mistake. But it doesn't have to ruin everything. Doesn't it? She sits down across from my desk, tries to make eye contact. I was confused, Jack, feeling invisible, feeling old. Beth made me think that maybe I was missing out on something. So, you decided to sleep with strangers in Las Vegas? It wasn't like that. What was it like? She's quiet for a long moment. There was this party. Beth knew some people from college, and they invited us. There were drinks and music, and people were dancing, and I felt young again, attractive. Wanted. How many? What? How many men, Laura? Her face crumbles. It's all fuzzy. The drinks were stronger than I thought, and someone might have put something in them, and how many? 3, maybe 4, I'm not sure. I nod slowly, like she's just told me the weather forecast. And Beth? She was there, but she just watched, mostly. She watched her mother have love with strangers. Jack, please. And now you're pregnant. Laura starts crying, ugly sobs that shake her whole body. I don't know what to do. I don't know how this happened. I do. You listened to our daughter's advice about empowerment and self-discovery, and you decided that 24 years of marriage was worth trading for a weekend of feeling wanted by men whose names you don't even remember. It wasn't about not loving you. Stop. I stand up, walk to the window. Our neighborhood looks the same as always. Modest houses, chain-link fences, cars that have seen better days. But everything feels different now, like I'm looking at it through someone else's eyes. Don't make this about love. This is about choices. You made yours. What does that mean? I turn back to her. It means you're on your own now, financially, emotionally, medically. You want empowerment? Congratulations. You're empowered. Jack, you can't. I can and I will. You can figure out how to pay for your medical bills, your pregnancy expenses, whatever you need. I'm done subsidizing your self-discovery. She stares at me like I've slapped her. You're my husband. Am I? Because the woman I married wouldn't have done this. Laura stands up shakily. Beth said you'd react this way. She said you'd try to punish me instead of dealing with your own issues. My issues. Your affair, Jack. The reason I felt justified in what affair? Don't lie to me. Beth figured it out. The late nights, the weekend work calls, the distance between us. You've been cheating, and now you're trying to make me the villain. I stare at her for a long moment, then start laughing. It's not a pleasant sound. Laura, I work late because we need the money. I take weekend calls because freelance engineering pays our mortgage. And there's distance between us because you've been planning this betrayal for months, maybe years, and I was too stupid to see it. That's not get out of my office. Jack, get out. She leaves, slamming the door behind her. I sit back down at my desk and call Vince. How bad is it? I ask when he picks up. Pretty bad. I got the hotel security footage, talked to some people. Your wife and daughter were at a party in the penthouse suite Friday night. Private party, invitation only, hosted by some social media influencer type. How many men? At the party. Maybe 15, 20. But Jack? He pauses. The footage shows your wife with at least 6 different guys over the course of the weekend. Your daughter was filming some of it. Filming? On her phone, she was documenting the whole thing like it was some kind of reality show. I close my eyes, feel something cold and hard settling in my chest. Send me everything you have. Jack, maybe you should send me everything. The files arrive in my email an hour later. Photos, video clips, witness statements. My wife, drunk and laughing, being passed around like party favors. My daughter recording it all with the detached enthusiasm of a war correspondent. There's one video that stops me cold. Laura, without clothes from the waist up, dancing with 2 men while Beth cheers her on from behind the camera. Go, Mom! This is your moment. Show them what you've got. I watch it 3 times before I have to stop. Not because it's painful, though it is, but because I'm starting to feel something that scares me. Something cold and calculating and completely unlike the man I used to be. I'm starting to feel powerful. The next morning, Beth tries to ambush me at breakfast. She bounces into the kitchen wearing tiny shorts and a crop top, all fake smiles and nervous energy. Dad, I was thinking we should all sit down and talk about what happened in Vegas. Like, really communicate about our feelings and no. But I think if we could just... Beth, let me explain something to you. I set down my coffee cup, look her directly in the eyes. You convinced your mother to cheat on me. You filmed her having love with strangers. You turned our family into your personal entertainment. There's nothing to communicate about. Her fake smile falters. Dad, that's not fair. I was trying to help Mom find herself by pimping her out. That's not what happened. Isn't it? She pulls out her phone, starts typing furiously. This is exactly the kind of toxic masculinity I was trying to protect Mom from. You're hoe-shaming her for making personal choices about her relationships, while you've probably been cheating for years. Put the phone away, Beth. No, people need to know what kind of man you really are. I stand up, walk around the table. Beth keeps typing, probably posting to Instagram or TikTok or whatever platform she uses to broadcast our family's dysfunction to the world. I take the phone out of her hands. Hey, give that back. No. Dad, you can't just... I drop the phone on the kitchen floor and step on it. The screen shatters with a satisfying crunch. Beth stares at the broken phone, then at me, her mouth hanging open. You can't do that. That phone cost $800. Then you should have thought about that before you used it to destroy our family. I didn't destroy anything. I was helping Mom realize her potential. By encouraging her to sleep with strangers? By encouraging her to take control of her life instead of being trapped in a loveless marriage with a man who doesn't appreciate her? I grab Beth by the shoulders, not hard enough to hurt, but firm enough to get her attention. Listen to me very carefully. Your mother is pregnant with another man's child. She has a serious medical condition related to her choices. She nearly died from alcohol and pills poisoning. That's what your help accomplished. Beth tries to pull away, but I hold her steady. And now you want to make me the villain, because I won't pretend this is all normal and healthy and empowering. You want to post about toxic masculinity while you filmed your own mother being degraded by strangers? Let go of me. I'm not the enemy here, Beth, but I'm starting to think maybe I should be. I release her, and she stumbles backward, tears streaming down her face. I hate you, she whispers. Good. That makes this easier. She runs upstairs, and I hear her door slam. A few minutes later, Laura comes down, looking haggard and suspicious. What did you do to Beth? I broke her phone. Jack, she needs that phone for school. Then she can buy a new one with her own money. She doesn't have any money. Then maybe she should get a job instead of majoring in destroying families. Laura stares at me like I'm a stranger. What's happened to you? I'm adapting to new circumstances. This isn't you. You're not cruel. I pour myself another cup of coffee, take my time adding cream and sugar. You're right. The old me wasn't cruel. The old me was loyal and trusting and stupid enough to believe that 24 years of marriage meant something. It does mean something. To who? Not to you, not to Beth. You both made that clear. We can fix this, Jack. We can go to counseling, work through our issues. Our issues? I turn to face her. Laura, you're carrying another man's child. What exactly is counseling going to fix? She doesn't have an answer for that. I finish my coffee, grab my keys, and head for the door. Where are you going? To work. Some of us still have jobs. I spend the day at my office, but I'm not really working. I'm planning. By the time I drive home, I know exactly what I'm going to do. The old Jack Morrison is dead. The new one is just getting started. I start with the finances. 24 years of marriage means I know every account, every credit card, every automatic payment. Laura's been so focused on her legal career that she's let me handle all the money management, which turns out to be a tactical error on her part. Monday morning, I transfer our joint savings into an account with only my name on it. I cancel her credit cards, citing suspected fraud. I remove her access to our checking account and set up automatic transfers to cover only the mortgage, utilities, and my personal expenses. When Laura tries to buy lunch Tuesday afternoon, her card is declined. She calls me from the law firm, furious. Jack, what did you do? I secured our assets pending resolution of our marital issues. You can't do that. I need access to our money. Our money? The money I earned while you were getting involved with other people behind my back? That's not, Jack. I have expenses. I have medical bills from Vegas, and I need to see a doctor about the pregnancy. Sounds like you should have thought about that before you decided to become empowered. This is financial misuse? No, this is consequences. You want independence? Congratulations, you're independent. She hangs up on me, but I'm not done. I call Beth's college and inform them that due to family financial difficulties, I'll no longer be able to contribute to her tuition or living expenses. The bursar's office is very understanding and helpful in explaining their payment plan options. Beth calls me an hour later screaming. Dad, what the heck? They're saying I owe $12,000 by Friday or I can't register for fall classes. Then you better figure out how to pay it. I can't pay $12,000. I'm a student. Maybe you should have considered that before you turned your mother into someone who sells herself. I didn't. Beth, I saw the videos. You filmed your mother having love with multiple men. You encouraged it. You cheered her on. Now you get to live with the consequences. This is insane. You can't punish me for Mom's choices. Can't I? I hang up and immediately get a call from Laura. Jack, you cannot take this out on Beth. She's our daughter. She's your daughter. My daughter wouldn't have done what she did. She made a mistake. She made a choice, just like you did. Now you both get to live with those choices. I'm just getting started. That evening, I drive to the boxing gym where I used to train in my 20s. It's still there. Still smells like sweat and leather and broken dreams. The owner, Mickey Torino, is a 70-year-old former middleweight who's seen everything twice. "Jack Morrison," he says when I walk in. "Thought you were dead. Just married. Same thing." Mickey laughs, a sound like gravel in a cement mixer. "What brings you back?" "I need to remember how to fight." "Physical or metaphorical?" "Both." He looks me over, takes in the soft edges that 20 years of office work have given me. "This about your wife? How did you—" "Mickey knows everything that happens in this neighborhood. Your wife's been seen around town with some pretty boy in a BMW. Your daughter's been posting videos online about what a bastard you are." I shouldn't be surprised. In a city this size, gossip travels faster than the speed of light. "So what's the plan?" Mickey asks. "I'm going to destroy them. All of them? Everyone who betrayed me. Everyone who thought I was weak enough to just take it." Mickey nods slowly. "You know there's no going back from that kind of thing." "Good. I don't want to go back." I start training that night. 2 hours on the heavy bag, working out 20 years of suppressed anger. My hands are raw, scraped and torn by the time I'm done, but I feel more alive than I have in years. When I get home, Laura and Beth are waiting in the living room like an intervention committee. "Jack, we need to talk," Laura says. "Do we?" This has gone far enough, cutting off our money, threatening Beth's education. This isn't solving anything. I sit down across from them, study their faces. Laura looks tired and desperate. Beth looks angry and entitled. Neither looks sorry. "What would solve it?" I ask. "Forgiveness," Laura says, "understanding. Accepting that marriages go through rough patches and working together to fix them." "Is that what we're calling it? A rough patch?" "Jack, I know what I did was wrong." "Do you?" "Yes! I know it was a mistake, and I'm sorry, and I want to make it right." "How?" She glances at Beth, who nods encouragingly. "I'll get rid of the baby. I'll get treated for the infection. We can start over." "Just like that." "Just like that." I lean back in my chair, pretend to consider it. "And Beth?" "I'll delete the videos," Beth says quickly. "I'll post an apology online, explain that I was wrong about you, that you're not the bad guy." Interesting. They both look hopeful, like they think they're about to get out of this without real consequences. "Here's my counteroffer," I say. "You can both go to heck." Laura's face crumples. "Jack, please." "You think this is about forgiveness? You think I'm angry because you made a mistake?" I stand up, walk to the window. "Laura, you didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. You chose to believe that I was cheating with no evidence. You chose to listen to our daughter's advice about empowerment. You chose to go to Vegas. You chose to drink and take pills and have love with strangers. You chose to let Beth film it. I was confused. You were selfish. And now you want me to forgive you so you can go back to feeling good about yourself. That's not..." I turn back to face them. "But here's the thing. I don't want you to feel good about yourself. I want you to feel exactly as bad as you made me feel when I found out my wife was pregnant with another man's child." Beth jumps up. "Dad, that's enough. You're being cruel." "Am I?" "Yes. You're punishing us for being human, for making mistakes. I'm punishing you for destroying our family and then expecting me to clean up the mess. We're trying to fix it." "No, you're trying to make it go away. There's a difference." Laura stands up too, and for a moment they're both towering over me, united in their outrage at my unreasonableness. "Jack, if you don't stop this, I'll have no choice but to file for divorce," Laura says. "Go ahead. I'll take half of everything." "Will you?" "Because I've been documenting your adultery, your pills use, your abandonment of parental responsibilities. I've got video evidence of you having love with multiple partners while our daughter filmed it. How do you think that's going to play in family court?" Laura goes pale. "You wouldn't." "Try me." Beth pulls out her new phone. Apparently she managed to buy a replacement and starts recording. "This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is emotional misuse. This is..." I grab the phone and throw it against the wall. It shatters like her last one. "Stop recording our family's dysfunction and maybe we'll have less dysfunction." Beth stares at the broken phone, then at me, her face twisted with rage. "I hate you. I hate you so much." Good. Hate is honest. Hate doesn't pretend to be something it's not. She runs upstairs crying. Laura follows her, shooting me a look of pure venom. "This isn't over, Jack." "No, it's not." I clean up the broken phone, pour myself a drink, and call Vince. "How's it going?" he asks. Better than expected. They're starting to crack. What's the next move? I'm going to pay a visit to Laura's boyfriend. Jack, be careful. You don't want to do anything that could be used against you later. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt him. I'm going to do something worse. What's that? I'm going to humiliate him. Scott Brennan works at the same law firm as Laura, which is how they met. He's 34, divorced, drives a leased Audi, and spends more money on hair products than most people spend on groceries. According to Vince's research, he's also deeply insecure about his height, his receding hairline, and his father's disapproval of his career choices. In other words, he's perfect. I find him Thursday evening at Platinum Fitness, the upscale gym where he works out religiously and posts inspirational quotes on Instagram about grinding and hustle culture. He's doing bicep curls in front of the mirror, wearing a tank top that shows off his spray tan. I watch him for 20 minutes, learning his routine. He does the same exercises in the same order, checks his phone between sets, and flexes in the mirror when he thinks no one is looking. He's predictable, which makes him vulnerable. Friday morning, I follow him to his usual coffee shop. He orders the same thing every day, large, skinny vanilla latte with oat milk and an extra shot. The barista knows him by name, which tells me he's a creature of habit. I wait until he's sitting at his usual table, scrolling through his phone before I approach. Scott Brennan? He looks up, confused. Yeah? Jack Morrison, Laura's husband. The color drains from his face. Oh, hi. Can I sit? He glances around the coffee shop like he's looking for an escape route. I'm actually just leaving. Sit down, Scott. Something in my voice makes him obey. I take the chair across from him, study his face. He's younger than I expected, with the kind of artificial handsomeness that comes from expensive grooming and careful lighting and selfies. So, I say, Vegas was fun, I hear. Listen, Mr. Morrison, I don't know what Laura told you. She told me she's pregnant. Scott's coffee cup freezes halfway to his mouth. What? 6 weeks along. Congratulations. That's not possible. Why? Because you used protection? Because we didn't. He sets down his coffee with shaking hands. We didn't have love. I lean back in my chair. Really? Really? I mean, there was kissing and some touching, but we didn't. I mean, she was with other guys, but not me. Other guys? At the party, there were maybe 6 or 7 guys, and she was pretty drunk, and your daughter was filming everything, and it got pretty crazy, but I swear I didn't sleep with her. Interesting. So Scott was there, but he wasn't one of Laura's partners, which means he's been living in fear of my retaliation for something he didn't even do. But you wanted to, I say. What? You wanted to sleep with my wife. Scott looks around the coffee shop again, lowering his voice. Mr. Morrison, I think maybe we should answer the question, Scott. Laura's an attractive woman. Who's married? Yes. To me. Yes. For 24 years? Scott nods miserably. And you thought you'd just move in on that? It wasn't like that. Laura said you two were having problems, that you were probably cheating, that she needed to feel desired again. So you decided to help her feel desired. I was being a friend. A friend who wanted to sleep with her? Scott's face is red now, sweating despite the air conditioning. Mr. Morrison, I'm sorry if you got the wrong impression. The wrong impression? Scott, you took my wife to Vegas and watched her be intimate with strangers while my daughter filmed it. What impression should I have gotten? I didn't take her anywhere. Beth planned the whole thing. She said it would be good for Laura, that she needed to figure out who she is romantically. And you just went along with it. I thought maybe afterward, if things didn't work out with you two, maybe Laura and I could what? Could see where things went. I nod slowly. So you were hoping my marriage would fall apart so you could swoop in and save the day? That's exactly what it is. I stand up, and Scott flinches like he thinks I'm going to hit him. Instead, I pull out my phone and show him one of the videos Vince obtained. Is this your idea of being a friend? On the screen, Laura is dancing topless while several men grope her. Scott is visible in the background, watching and laughing. Turn it off, Scott whispers. Why? This is your handiwork, isn't it? This is what happens when you help a married woman make choices about her personal life. Please turn it off. I put the phone away. Here's what's going to happen, Scott. You're going to stay away from my wife. You're going to transfer to a different department at work, or better yet, find a new job entirely. And if I ever see you near my family again, I'm going to make sure everyone in the city knows exactly what kind of man you are. You can't threaten me. I'm not threatening you. I'm explaining consequences. I start to leave, then turn back. Oh, and Scott, you might want to get tested. Laura picked up an STD in Vegas, and even if you didn't sleep with her, you were at that party. Who knows what you might have been exposed to? I walk out of the coffee shop, leaving Scott staring after me with his mouth hanging open, but I'm not done with him yet. That afternoon, I create several anonymous social media accounts and begin posting the videos from Vegas. Not the explicit ones. I'm not trying to create revenge porn, but the ones showing Scott at the party, laughing and encouraging the behavior that nearly got my wife ended. I tag his workplace, his gym, his ex-wife, and every fitness influencer he follows. The posts go viral within hours. By evening, Scott's Instagram account is flooded with comments calling him a pervert, a homewrecker, and worse. His professional headshots are being shared with mocking captions. Someone creates a meme using his gym selfies and the phrase, "This is what peak performance looks like." He calls me that night, sobbing. Please make it stop. Please, I'll do anything. Anything? Anything. I'll quit my job, I'll move out of state, whatever you want. I want you to understand something, Scott. Actions have consequences. You helped destroy my family, and now your reputation is destroyed. That's fair, isn't it? I didn't mean for any of this to happen, but it did happen, and now everyone knows what kind of man you are. Please, I hang up. The next morning, Laura confronts me at breakfast. What did you do to Scott? Nothing illegal. He's been getting death threats. People are calling him at work, showing up at his apartment. Sounds like he's experiencing consequences for his actions. Jack, this has to stop. You're destroying innocent people. Innocent? I set down my coffee cup, look at her directly. Laura, Scott helped orchestrate your weekend of empowerment. He watched you degrade yourself with strangers. He was hoping our marriage would fail, so he could have his chance with you. How exactly is he innocent? He didn't force me to do anything. No, but he enabled it. He encouraged it. He benefited from it. And now he gets to live with the consequences. This isn't justice, Jack. This is revenge. What's the difference? She stares at me like I'm a stranger. What's happened to you? I learned something about myself. I learned that I'm not as nice as I thought I was. You used to be a good man. I used to be a stupid man. There's a difference. Laura's phone buzzes. She checks it and her face goes pale. What now? I ask. Beth's in trouble at school. Someone posted videos of her from Vegas online, and the administration is investigating. What kind of videos? The ones where she's encouraging me to... Laura can't finish the sentence. Where she's pimping you out? Don't say it like that. How should I say it? Laura's phone buzzes again, then again. She looks at the messages, and I can see her hands shaking. They're talking about expulsion, she whispers. For what? Conduct unbecoming a student. Moral turpitude. They're saying she violated the student code of conduct by engaging in and documenting illegal activity. What illegal activity? Illicit behavior. They're saying the videos make it look like she was running some kind of escort type arrangement. I have to admit I didn't see that coming, but I'm not unhappy about it. Maybe she should have thought about that before she filmed you having love with strangers for money. It wasn't for money, wasn't it? She was documenting it, sharing it, building her social media following. Sounds like monetization to me. Laura starts crying. Ugly sobs that shake her whole body. Jack, please, I know you hate me, but don't do this to Beth. She's just a kid. She's 22 years old, and she destroyed our family for content. Now she gets to live with the consequences. She's your daughter. No, I say quietly. She's not. Laura looks up at me, tears streaming down her face. What does that mean? It means I'm done pretending that biology creates obligations. Beth chose her side when she chose to film you in Vegas. Now she can live with that choice. Jack, please. Save it, Laura. You both made your choices. Now you get to live with them. I finish my coffee and head for the door. Where are you going? To work. Some of us still have jobs. But I'm not going to work. I'm going to see Vince because it's time for the final phase of my plan. Vince's office smells like stale cigarettes and broken dreams. But it's become my sanctuary over the past few weeks. He's got a wall covered with surveillance photos, financial records, and printed social media posts. Everything we need to destroy what's left of my old life. How are you holding up? He asks when I walk in. Better than I expected. Laura's starting to crack, Beth's about to get expelled, and Scott's reputation is completely destroyed. And how does that make you feel? Powerful. Vince nods slowly. That's what I was afraid of. What do you mean? Jack, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've seen a lot of men go through what you're going through, the betrayal, the anger, the need for revenge. Most of them pull back before they go too far. And the ones who don't? They become something else, something harder. They get so focused on winning that they forget what they're fighting for. I sit down across from his desk. What are you saying? I'm saying maybe it's time to think about what you actually want here. Do you want your family back? Do you want a divorce? Do you just want everyone to suffer? I want them to understand that actions have consequences. They understand. Laura's lost her job. Beth's about to lose her education. Scott's career is over. Mission accomplished. Is it? Vince leans back in his chair. What else is there? I want them to know that they can't just apologize and make this go away. I want them to know that some things can't be fixed. And then what? Then I move on with my life. What life? You've spent the last month destroying everything and everyone around you. What's left? It's a good question, and I don't have a good answer. My phone buzzes. Text message from Laura. Please come home. We need to talk. They want to negotiate, I tell Vince. Are you interested? I'm curious. I drive home to find Laura and Beth waiting in the living room with a third person, a woman in her 50s wearing an expensive suit and carrying a briefcase. Jack, this is Patricia Hendricks, Laura says. She's a family counselor who specializes in crisis intervention. What now? Patricia stands up, extends her hand. Mr. Morrison, I've been working with Laura and Beth to help them understand the impact of their actions and develop a plan for moving forward constructively. I don't shake her hand. Moving forward. Yes, everyone makes mistakes, but that doesn't mean families can't heal and grow stronger. Interesting theory. I sit down across from them, study their faces. Laura looks hopeful but nervous. Beth looks sullen and angry. Patricia looks like she's done this dance 1,000 times before. Jack, Laura says, we've been talking about what happened, really talking, and we both understand now that we hurt you terribly. Do you? Yes, and we want to make it right. How? Beth clears her throat. I'm going to delete all the videos and post a public apology explaining that I was wrong to encourage Mom's behavior and wrong to blame you for things you didn't do. And I'm going to get counseling, Laura adds. Individual therapy to understand why I made such destructive choices and couples therapy with you, if you're willing. What about the pregnancy? Laura's face tightens. I'm going to terminate it. And Scott? I've already told him I never want to see him again. I've requested a transfer to a different department. Patricia nods approvingly. These are all positive steps toward rebuilding trust and intimacy in your relationship. I look at each of them in turn. And what do I get out of this? Your family back, Laura says. Is that what I get, or is that what you get? Jack, Patricia interjects. I understand that you're angry, but holding on to that anger will only hurt you in the long run. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Forgiveness. Yes. The ability to let go of resentment and move forward with love and understanding. I stand up, walk to the window. Our neighborhood looks the same as always, but I feel like I'm seeing it from a great distance. Here's the thing, I say without turning around. 3 weeks ago, I would have jumped at this offer. 3 weeks ago, I still believed that people could change, that families were worth saving, that love conquered all. You can still believe that, Laura says. Can I? I turn back to face them. Laura, you're not offering to change. You're offering to manage the consequences of not changing. You're not sorry you cheated. You're sorry you got caught. You're not sorry you listened to Beth's advice. You're sorry it didn't work out the way you planned. That's not true, isn't it? If that weekend in Vegas had gone differently, if you hadn't gotten pregnant, hadn't gotten an STD, hadn't nearly died, would we be having this conversation? Laura doesn't answer. And Beth, I look at my daughter, this young woman I used to think I knew. You're not sorry you filmed your mother having love with strangers. You're sorry people saw the videos and judged you for it. Dad, I was trying to help. You were trying to create content. You turned our family's destruction into entertainment. That's not... It is exactly that. Patricia clears her throat. Mr. Morrison, I think you're being unnecessarily harsh. Everyone here is trying to take responsibility for their actions and move forward positively. Are they? Or are they trying to make the consequences go away so they can feel good about themselves again? What's the difference? The difference is that real change requires accepting that some things can't be fixed. Some betrayals are too deep, some trust too broken, some damage too permanent. Laura starts crying. Jack, please, I know I hurt you, but we can get through this. We can be stronger than before. Can we? Because I don't think I want to be married to a woman who would do what you did. And I don't think I want to be a father to a daughter who would encourage it. You don't mean that, Beth says. I do mean it. You both showed me who you really are, and I believe you. I head for the door. Where are you going? Laura asks. To pack some things. I'm moving out. Jack, wait. This conversation is over. But it's not over. Not yet. That evening, I'm at Vince's office finalizing the paperwork for a divorce attorney when my phone starts buzzing. Text after text, all from numbers I don't recognize. What's happening? Vince asks. I check the messages. Screenshots of social media posts, links to videos, angry rants about my behavior over the past month. They went public, I say. What do you mean? I show him my phone. Beth posted everything. The financial stuff, the social media campaign against Scott, the surveillance videos. She's painting me as a controlling and aggressive husband who's been systematically destroying his family. Crap. It gets better. I scroll through more messages. Laura gave an interview to the local news about domestic financial misuse. They're running a story tomorrow night. Vince whistles low. They're trying to flip the script, make you the villain. Smart move. What are you going to do? I think about it for a moment. I'm going to give them what they want. What do you mean? They want a villain? Fine, I'll be their villain. The next morning, I call the same news station that interviewed Laura and offer them an exclusive interview. I tell them I have video evidence that will completely change their understanding of the story. The reporter, an ambitious young woman named Jennifer Walsh, meets me at a downtown coffee shop with a camera crew. She's expecting a defensive, apologetic husband trying to explain away his controlling and inappropriate behavior. She's not expecting what she gets. Mr. Morrison, your wife has accused you of financial misuse and emotional manipulation. How do you respond to those charges? I respond by showing you this. I hand her a tablet loaded with the Vegas videos. Not the explicit ones. I'm not trying to humiliate Laura publicly. But the ones showing Beth filming and encouraging the behavior, Laura drinking and taking pills, Scott watching and laughing. Jennifer watches in silence, her expression changing from skeptical to shocked to disgusted. This is your daughter filming your wife with multiple men? Yes. And she posted online calling you controlling and harmful? Yes. Mr. Morrison, why didn't you show this to the police? Because no crimes were committed. Adultery isn't illegal. Stupidity isn't illegal. And destroying your family for social media content isn't illegal. But financial misuse. I removed my wife's access to accounts funded by my income after discovering she was pregnant with another man's child and had contracted a serious medical condition related to her choices. Is that misuse or is that self-preservation? Jennifer looks at her notes, then back at me. Your wife says you've been systematically destroying her life and your daughter's future. I've been allowing them to experience the consequences of their choices. There's a difference. Some people would say you've gone too far. Some people would say they didn't go far enough in considering the consequences before they acted. Do you love your wife, Mr. Morrison? I love the woman I thought I married. It turns out that woman never existed. And your daughter? I love the daughter I thought I raised. She turned out to be someone else entirely. So what happens now? Now I move on with my life. They can do whatever they want with theirs. The interview airs that night, and the response is immediate and overwhelming. The social media posts supporting Laura and Beth disappear, replaced by comments supporting me. The narrative flips completely. I'm no longer the accused aggressor. I'm the betrayed victim who fought back. Laura calls me, sobbing. Jack, you've destroyed us. Completely destroyed us. No, Laura, you destroyed us. I just made sure everyone knew about it. The law firm fired me. Beth's been expelled. We have nothing left. You have each other. That's what you chose. This isn't justice, Jack. This is cruelty. What's the difference? Please, I'm begging you. Make it stop. I can't make it stop, Laura. This is just the world knowing who you really are. I'm pregnant, and homeless, and unemployed. Then maybe you should have thought about that before you decided to get involved with people you barely knew. She hangs up. An hour later, Vince calls. Jack, you need to see something. What now? Laura and Beth are at the downtown Marriott. They're in the bar, and they're not alone. Who are they with? 3 guys. Looks like they're picking up where Vegas left off. I drive to the hotel, walk into the bar, and see them at a corner table with 3 men I don't recognize. Laura's wearing a tight dress and too much makeup. Beth is filming with her phone. They see me coming and freeze. Ladies, I say. Gentlemen. One of the men starts to stand up. Look, buddy, we don't want any trouble. No trouble. I just wanted to see for myself. I look at Laura, then at Beth. So this is how you're dealing with your problems? The same way you created them? Jack, it's not what you think. Laura starts. It's exactly what I think. You haven't learned anything. You're not sorry for what you did. You're just sorry it didn't work out better. I turn to the 3 men. Gentlemen, let me save you some time and money. The woman in the red dress is pregnant with another man's child and has chlamydia. The younger one films everything and posts it online. Still interested? 2 of the men immediately stand up and leave. The third hesitates, then follows them. Laura and Beth sit alone at the table, staring at me with hatred. You're a monster, Beth whispers. No, I say. I'm just someone who learned to stop pretending that people can change when they don't want to. I walk out of the bar, drive home to my empty house, and pour myself a drink. My phone buzzes. Text from Vince. It's over. They're checking out of the hotel. I type back, good. But it's not good. It's not bad either. It just is. I sit in my living room in the house where I thought I had a family and realize that I've won. I've destroyed everyone who betrayed me, proven that actions have consequences, shown the world who they really are. And I've never felt more empty in my life. But that's okay. Empty is better than stupid. Empty is better than betrayed. Empty is better than believing in things that were never real. I raise my glass to the empty room. To consequences, I say. Outside, it starts to rain. 3 months later, Laura and Beth have moved to another state. Laura found work at a small firm that doesn't do background checks. Beth is working at a restaurant and taking community college classes. Scott moved back in with his parents and is selling insurance. I'm still in the same house, still working as an engineer, still going to Mickey's gym 3 nights a week. I've lost 30 pounds and gained a reputation as someone you don't want to cross. People in the neighborhood treat me differently now. Some with respect, some with fear, some with the kind of careful distance you give to dangerous animals. I don't mind. I prefer honesty to false friendship. Mrs. Langley, the nosy neighbor, stops by occasionally with casseroles and gossip. She tells me Laura calls sometimes, asking about me, asking if I'm seeing anyone, if I seem lonely, if I ever mention missing them. I don't miss them. I miss who I thought they were, but those people never existed. Sometimes I wonder if I went too far, if I could have handled things differently, found a way to rebuild rather than destroy. But then I remember the videos, the lies, the complete lack of remorse, and I know I did what I had to do. They taught me that family is just a word, that love is just a feeling, and that both can disappear the moment someone decides their own happiness is more important than your pain. I taught them that some people fight back. The old Jack Morrison believed in forgiveness, second chances, and the power of love to overcome anything. He was weak, naive, and ultimately disposable. The new Jack Morrison believes in consequences, self-preservation, and the power of truth to destroy comfortable lies. He's harder, lonelier, and completely unbreakable. They called me the villain. I wore the title better than they ever wore their masks.